So good morning, students. Today we'll start with a play called Sunny Morning. It's a beautiful romantic comedy. We have studied about Romeo and Juliet. It was a romantic tragedy. And now this is a romantic comedy. Romance and comedy mixed together. This is written by two brothers, Spanish brothers called Serafin and Joaquin. Serafin and Joaquin. They are known as the golden boys of Madrid theatre. You know Madrid? Madrid is the capital of Spain. So, they are very famous writers. They have written about 200 plays totally. They depict the life, manners and the speech of the people of southern Spain, that is Andalusia, southern Spain. Their popular comedies contributed to the revival of the Spanish theatre. So this is about the writers. What are the characters in this? You can see on the screen. First is Donna Laura. See, Donna Laura is an old lady of about 70. The lady who is sitting there. She has got a servant called Petra. Petra, her maid. Next is Don Gonzalo. Don Gonzalo is sitting by her side. He is also an old gentleman about 70. And he has a servant called Jonito. So these are the characters in the play. It is a one-act play and it is a romantic comedy. It's a very important question. Particularly, one question always comes from here, and the reported speech is taken from generally from this play only. Important places in the play are, one is Madrid. Madrid is the capital of Spain, as you know. Next is Valencia. This is another beautiful city of Spain. One is Marisela. Marisela is a villa. Villa means farmhouse. Villa near Valencia. So these are the important places coming in the play. Madrid, the play takes place in Madrid. Valencia, another beautiful city of Spain. Marisela, it's a villa near Valencia. You must be knowing about Spain. Spain is a beautiful country. Tourism, people go for visiting Spain. And since long, it has been historically great writers and all that. And if you remember these names like Donna, Don, these are all respectable titles given to them. Now we'll go for a short summary of this play. The play takes place in a retired corner of a park in Madrid. It was autumn. Autumn is the season. You know, there are 4 seasons: summer, winter, spring and autumn. Autumn comes after summer and before winter. That means it is in America, they call it as a fall. They don't call it as autumn. They call it as the fall, where the leaves fall. If you see the tree, the leaves are falling down. It's a dry season. So autumn season. A bench at right. There is a bench there. And a Donna Laura, the beautiful white-haired lady of about 70, enters the park leaning upon the arm of her maid Petra. So she is unable to walk independently. She is holding the arm of her maid Petra, and she is entering the park. She carries a parasol. Parasol means a colorful umbrella in her hand. A beautiful umbrella. Then sometimes she uses it as a stick. Sometimes she uses it as a stick. Wow. Then she comes into the park and she sits in the corner of a bench. And it was a beautiful sunny morning. See, in foreign countries, sunny morning means pleasant. But in India, sunny means very hot and we don't enjoy that. But there they enjoy. Then she sends Petra, that is her servant, to go and chat with the guard. See, daily the servant used to come, leave the lady, and then she used to go there. There was a guard of the park. Then they used to chat together and pass the time. Then Petra hands over the breadcrumbs. Daily, the servant will bring some crumbs. Breadcrumbs means small pieces of bread. That is to feed the birds there. And she hands over the breadcrumbs to Donna Laura, who sits and starts feeding the birds, which immediately come to her. Every day, as soon as the lady comes, all the birds nearby, they know that she will come. And they all join together, they come and then they eat the breadcrumbs given by her. And there are different kinds of birds. One is the spryest. The spryest means very active and very energetic ones. They come first and they take the breadcrumbs and eat. They are the spryest. The second is the gluttons. The gluttons means who eat excessively. They eat more. Gluttony is a bad habit, eating more and more and more. That's called gluttony. Here they are gluttons who eat excessively. Then there are small ones, called the little ones, which are most persistent. And then we have a big one with a big head. That is then there are some one timid one, very shy nature. It doesn't come nearby. It will stand somewhere near, far away, and then start eating. So that is the timid one. And there is another one whom the Donna Laura calls as a philosopher. That means it will come alone, take the breadcrumbs, fly back to the tree and sit on some branch alone and start eating. So she calls this bird as a philosopher. So these are the kinds of birds. Sometimes in exam they ask about the introductions, what Donna Laura does when she comes. So these are the birds. First one is the spryest. The spryest means they are very active and energetic. The second one is the gluttons. See, gluttons means who eat excessively. Then the third one is the little ones. They are very persistent, adamant, very persistent. Then a big one, whom she calls as a big head. And then there is another one, least timid. Timid means shy nature. It doesn't come near. And the last one is the philosopher, who sits alone on a branch of a tree, comes, takes the bread piece, and then goes back. So these are the different kinds of birds which immediately come as soon as Donna Laura comes and starts eating. Next, Don Gonzalo, another old man of about 70, gauty and impatient. Gauty means one who has got some joint pains. See, old age people, they always have joint pains, so they don't walk properly. So this kind of problem he is having. He is not able to lift the foot, so he will be dragging the foot. So that is gauty and impatient. Generally, old people, they get angry. They don't have patience. So this man is also impatient. Then he enters the park with his servant. Servant yaru? Jonito. He also leans upon his arm and enters the park. Then daily he used to sit on a usual bench. But on this particular day, it was not empty. It was occupied with somebody else. There were 3 priests sitting. Priests, Gurugulu, they are sitting there. And Don Gonzalo gets annoyed. Why those people are sitting on my bench? He tells the servant, Jonito, go and send them out. Chase them. But they are priests, they are sitting and they are just talking. So they could not send them away. Then finally, he was just searching, and Jonito advised Don Gonzalo, you can just see this bench. Only one lady is sitting on that side. The other side is empty. You can sit there. Then he comes. When he comes round, he scares away the birds. All the birds are frightened, and immediately Donna Laura just glances at him. It's a beautiful story, the actions, how they interact. He looks at him angrily. Then he comes and sits in one corner of the bench. Then she thinks that Don Gonzalo is an ill-natured man. He's an ill-natured man because of his behavior. Then Gonzalo wished good morning to Laura, and she did not reply. Then Gonzalo was annoyed at this. Once I am giving good morning, she should reply. She is not replying. Then he just doesn't speak anything. He was just annoyed. Then Gonzalo took his handkerchief to wipe out the dust from his shoes. And Laura criticizes this action. See what happens, as I told you, he was gauty. So he was dragging the feet. Lot of dust was there on the shoes. So when he sat down, he took out the handkerchief, wiped the shoes with the handkerchief, and just glanced. Donna Laura just glanced at him, and then she was very annoyed what kind of man he is. Then Gonzalo takes a book, puts on his enormous pair of glasses, big glasses. He takes them, then another reading glass. First one glass he puts at a normal specs. Over that, another glass. Reading glass means magnifying glass. So then he starts adjusting both to suit him, and then opens the book. Laura jokingly remarks that he was taking out a telescope. Laura just, she tells that, what are you doing? Are you taking out a telescope? Then he tells Laura that he has got a very good eyesight. He has got a very good eyesight, and even he used to go on every Sunday for hunting. He used to take his gun and dog and then go to one of his estates near Arawaka. It's a place near Arawaka, and then he used to hunt hares and partridges. So every Sunday he was going. He wants to prove that he has got a very good eyesight. Laura tells Gonzalo that she could show a tiger skin in her boudoir. Boudoir means living room of a lady. You come to my room and I will show you a boudoir, a tiger skin in my boudoir. That doesn't show that I am a hunter. That means indirectly she is criticizing him. Just because you are taking your gun and dog and going to an estate, it doesn't prove that you are a very good hunter. Then Gonzalo takes out a pinch of snuff. He has got a snuff box. He takes it out, and then before taking, he just offers to her. Then tells her, please have a bit of snuff. Then she says, if it is good, I'll take. Then she takes a bit of snuff. Then they take and they enjoy that. And then Laura asking, do you sneeze? Yes, I sneeze 3 times. That means both of them sneeze 3 times alternately. She sneezes once and he sneezes. She again sneezes, he sneezes. Again she sneezes. This is a coincidence which used to happen earlier days. The same thing is repeating. Then he tells her, Gonzalo tells her that he was a good reader and a writer, saying, and he was a friend of Espenzoedo, Zorilla, and Bequer. These are famous Spanish writers. So he just tells them, I know all these people. One is Espenzoeda, Zorilla, and Becquer. Then Gonzalo casually tells her that he was a native of Valencia. As I told, Valencia is another city of Spain. He was a native of Valencia. Then Laura speaks of the villa named Maricela. Laura says, oh, there was a beautiful villa near Valencia. I remember that. And there lived the most beautiful woman named Laura Lorente. Then she recalls, there was a beautiful lady, most beautiful lady, whom they used to call as the Silver Maiden. Generally, in exams, one mark question is who is referred to as the Silver Maiden. And Gonzalo too recollects the name. Gonzalo also remembers, yes, I also know about her, I have heard about her. Then tells her that she was a fair lady, beautiful and perfect. He describes her in a beautiful way. Then she was in love with the gallant young man. She was in love with that lady was called as Laura Lorente. Laura Lorente, who is called as the Silver Maiden, she was in love with a gallant young man, who in fact was a cousin of Gonzalo's cousin. Now Laura's parents wanted to marry her to a merchant. Laura's parents decided that we will marry their daughter to a merchant. And when one night, when the young man, that is Gonzalo's cousin, was waiting at the window, as you know from Romeo and Juliet also, in olden stories and all, we find the lady will be on the top room, she will be standing at the window, she will be putting her hair out, and the lover will pass by, she will throw a bouquet of flowers, and he also will throw a bouquet of flowers. These are all regular things in these novels. Similarly, she was waiting on the window, and the cousin, he was standing at the bottom. And that time, the merchant appeared. Merchant means whom Laura's parents wanted to get her married. So the merchant appeared. And suddenly, there was a quarrel and there was a duel. Duel means D-U-E-L. Fight between two people. You know, duet. Duet means two people sing together. Here, duel is a fight. The fight takes place and merchant was badly wounded. The merchant was very badly wounded. And because of that, Gonzalo's cousin, out of fear, he ran away. He concealed himself and later on left the country. He went to Seville in France. Seville is another beautiful tourist place in France. Seville in France, and then came to Madrid. Again, then he came back. He wrote many letters to the Silver Maiden. Lot of letters he wrote, but none of the letters reached the Laura Lorente, because her parents, they intercepted. They took out all the letters. They did not allow the letters to reach to her. And because of that, she could not reply. Later, the cousin, the gallant man, joined the army, went to Africa, and met a glorious death, holding the flag of Spain in his hand and whispering the name of his beloved. The beloved means Laura Lorente, the Silver Maiden. So this is the story. We call it as a fictitious story built up by this Gonzalo. Similarly, she also builds up another story. Laura then tells about the Silver Maiden. She tells about her, who waited for years, but receiving no letters, left her house at sunset. Just left her house and went to the beach, wrote his name on the sand, wrote her beloved's name on the sand, then sat upon a rock. Then she sat upon the rock and she was just gazing on the sky. The tide rose, the waves rose and swept her out to the sea. both of them realized that they were the lovers of their young age. They realized that flashback comes that they were the real lovers in their young age. Then they do not disclose their identity, but even then, both of them do not disclose their identity. They don't disclose. They just want to keep their memories as it was. If they disclose, he will see her old face and she will see his over impatient old face. It may not so. So that is why they want to hide their identity so that all the memories of their old age will come unto them, because they don't want to forget their youthful beauty and love. Gonzalo has become old and distorted. He wants to recall the gallant horseman. Who is the gallant horseman? Gonzalo only, not his cousin. So, the gallant horseman, and who passed daily beneath their window and tossing the flowers. He wants to keep that in mind. And Laura also realizes that she has sadly changed and she wants to be the fair, black-eyed girl tossing flowers as he passed among the roses in the garden. Now Petra returns. Petra has gone to pass her time with the guard. She returns and offers Laura the violets, flowers, which her guard had given. So the guard has given flowers. Go and give to your mistress, to the Laura. And he accepts that. Gonzalo calls Jonito to come, and both of them come and they leave the park. They bid goodbye and they tell each other. Laura asks Gonzalo, "Are you coming tomorrow?" Then he says, "Definitely." Then she asks him, if it is sunny morning, I will come. Then she asks him further, "Will you come and sit in my bench?" Then he says, "Definitely, if you have no objection." She says, "No objection, it is at your disposal. You can come, you can sit." That means they have realized that they are the true lovers in their youth. So, but they don't disclose, that's all. But they realize. Then she tells that the next day they will meet if it is a sunny morning. He assures her to bring some breadcrumbs for the birds. Tomorrow when I come, I'll bring some crumbs for the birds, because today I have disturbed the birds. Tomorrow I will not do that. I will come, I'll bring some crumbs and give to you. And then a few violets, flowers, fall from her hand. Laura's hand. Then she just moves away. In the meanwhile, Gonzalo turns and picks up the flowers. From Laura, picks up the flowers, and suddenly Laura turns and looks and surprises her that he is picking up the violets. Then she remembers the old, even in their young age, she used to toss some flowers, they used to fall down, he used to pick it up. So all these come to their mind. And Gonzalo picks them up, and this surprises Laura. While departing, Laura murmurs, "Can it be that this is he?" Corneli, can it be that this is he? Oh, he is the man. She also tells, "Heavens, is it she? Heavens, is it she?" So, then finally, the both of them disappear. So, this is the end of the story. Summary I have given you, and these are the brothers. Who are them? They are Seraphim and Joaquin. Their full name is totally different, but they are Seraphim and Joaquin Alvarez Quintes. They are famous writers, they are brothers, and they were called as the golden boys of the Madrid theatre. So before going to the actual lesson, we should know the writer, the background, and the characters and the places, so that when we go to the actual play, it will become easy. That is why this is the first lesson. I have given you the complete introduction of the play and also the characters and also the places, so that in the next class we will go to the text. We will start reading the text slowly and then I'll explain, and while explaining I'll discuss all the 1 mark questions. See what happens at the end, we may not get time, but during the class itself I'll tell you this question is important, it has come, and at the end of the lesson I'll discuss on the important essay questions, that is 4 mark questions and 6 mark questions which have appeared. I always do this, even for those who appeared for exam this 18th, I had revised about reported speech, and I gave only one example from this lesson. That is, do you use a handkerchief as a shoe brush? That same example I had thoroughly revised, and the same thing came on the exam. Of course, no students responded, but what I had done, it has come in the exam. Many times it happens. So that is why when we take the lesson, I'll tell you which are the important short questions and which are the areas where reported speech is asked, and which are the 4 mark questions and which are the 6 mark questions. That we'll do at the end. So in the next class, we'll do the actual text. As now this method is a screen recording, you are able to see on the screen the text. So tomorrow when we read the text, we'll go slowly and I'll explain nicely and you can follow. So for today is just a small revision. The lesson is over. So it is a sunny morning. The title shows that it's a beautiful morning, enjoyable, pleasant morning. Then the action takes place in a retired corner of a park in Madrid. What is retired corner? That means empty, nobody is there. Retired corner of a park in Madrid, the capital of Spain. 2 years back, you had IFA conducted in Madrid. And as you know, the recent news also, Spain had a lot of virus and all that. So, that is Spain, a famous place. Then, which are the characters here? Donna Laura, Don Gonzalo, Petra and Jonito. Donna Laura, an old lady of 70. Don Gonzalo, again an old gentleman of about 70. Petra, Laura's maid. Jonito, Gonzalo's servant. Places: Madrid, city of Spain. Valencia, another city. Marisella, a villa. So these are the things. And I have explained the summary. And tomorrow we'll start with the actual text. Okay, thank you.